We come in right at the culmination of O Canada here in Rogers Center. For the Edmonton Oilers and the New Jersey Devils, sit back and enjoy this one as we are underway. The Oilers playing a home game against the Devils, who are winners 3 of their last 4 games for New Jersey. Nugent Hopkins on the first possession of the game for Edmonton, looking for a center, and it's cut off by Hamilton. Nugent Hopkins now battles for it behind the net. Nico Hischier takes it away, and here come the Devils for their first chance of the game, but it is met in center by Ekholm. And now another turnover in center. Brott turns back the other way for the Devils. Zach Hyman takes it off his stick. Here's Connor McDavid. Head of steam into the front ice. McDavid button hooks back, centering pass, the one-timer denied. And Hughes will bring it back out. Good start for Edmonton. Now Hughes with it. Floats, drops it off. Out in front, blocked down. Rebound goes just wide. Heavy attack on the blocker save, and Edmonton gets it out of the zone. 2 shots on goal to start this game for New Jersey. Hughes back the other way. Back up top to Glass, who brings it up. We're going to get an early penalty here on Edmonton. Extra skater in for a moment. Blocked out in front. Devils keep it alive. Hamilton with the 6-on-5 fires, and it's saved by Ingram. And we're going to get an early penalty here on Connor McDavid for a cross-check right there. So an early penalty on the Oilers. McDavid spikes the water bottle in the penalty box. And an early penalty on the Oilers. They're down their captain just a couple moments into this game. Face off in the Edmonton end. Won by the Oilers, and they'll get it out of the zone. Savoy brings it up shorthanded. Drops it off for Henrique. Couldn't get a clean one off. And Gritsuk takes it away for the Devils. First possession of the power play. Centering pass to Brown. Inside, score! It's a power play goal for New Jersey. And they're up and running here in Edmonton. Connor Brown goes top shelf. And an early strike on the man advantage for the Devils. Took it right into the crease. Edmonton was slow getting back. It was an easy 2-on-2. And Connor Brown takes advantage. Devils off and running here in Alberta. So just 2.5 minutes in, at the 2:23 mark, the Devils strike first. 1-0 New Jersey. Now Edmonton will have to play from behind here tonight. Podkolzin inside Kapanen, couldn't get a clean one off, and it squirts into the corner. Hughes is there for the Devils, and they get it out of the zone. He's Muir. Muir poke checked as it floats to the near half wall, controlled by Darnell Nurse. Kapanen feeds it up to Podkolzin. Podkolzin head of steam. Dangles, centers, intercepted. Loose puck on the inside, and Leon Draisaitl couldn't get it to go. Floats to the near side. Devils are there for it. And then they turn it over in neutral ice. Here's Podkolzin. Other side, Stastny sends it long towards the net from the blue line. Easy save. Edmonton keeps it in. Another shot off a body in front. Mercer back behind the net. Into the trapezoid, Pesh. Pesh trying to get it out of the zone. He can. It goes back into the corner. Battle for it along the far half wall, and it squirts into the trapezoid. Devils get control in their own end. Still can't get it out. Podkolzin fires, and that one goes off the side of the net. Devils get control in their own end, and Mercer finally gets it out of the zone for New Jersey. Here's Hughes. 3-on-2. Hughes fires, gloved down by Ingram. And no further play. Hot start in this game. Edmonton had a few chances on that. Already 8 shots on goal combined. 5 for the Devils, 3 for Edmonton. 1-0 Devil lead early. They win the faceoff. White fires, tipped around, blockered away by Ingram. And the Oilers will get it out of the zone. Howard sends it around the boards, allows for a change. Battle for it along the near half wall. Henrique there for Edmonton. Roslovic battles, can't handle it. Cross ice pass, Connor Brown, the latest goal scorer. Centers himself, couldn't get a clean one off as it floats to the far half wall. Emberson maintains possession for Edmonton. Roslovic backtracks. Errant pass taken over by New Jersey in center. Good start to this game. Back and forth we go. Connor Brown sends it around. Just under 6 minutes gone by in this opening period. Already a 1-0 Devil lead. Through center. Howard brings it up, flips it towards the net, swatted away. Brown gains control for the Devils, and they get it out. Glendenning to the near side, and Palat. Cross-ice pass to White, fires, and it goes wide. It might have hit a body out in front. And here come the Oilers back the other way. Emberson up ahead to Howard. Howard dangles, flips it towards the net, kicked away, and Dillon gets the rebound for the Jersey Devils. Glendenning trying to feed it out. He will. Connor Brown. Disrupted as he comes into the zone. Edmonton gains control. Stretch pass to Leon Draisaitl. His first touch of the game as he dangles. Fires a shot, save. Rebound by Dillon. And it floats all the way out of the zone, and icing is the call. Stops play with 12:53 to go in a fast-paced opening period at this point. 6 shots on goal for each team. Face off in the Devil end. Controlled by Edmonton. Ekholm in the slot. Whiffs on the shot attempt as it floats into the corner. Devils get control in front of their own net. Glendenning feeds it up off the near wall to Hirscher. Hischer into the trapezoid, taken away by Evan Bouchard. Good defense. Here's Majapani. 3-on-2 in favor of the Devils. Errant pass comes off the side wall. Lazar behind the net. Lazar feeds it to the far half wall. Nico Hischer is there for the Devils. Hamilton sets up behind their own net, and Markstrom just covers the puck. 12:03 to go in this opening period. Devils with a 1-0 lead to start this game. Connor McDavid back in. He will face off and win it. Nurse in the slot. Couldn't get a clean one off. Nugent Hopkins got a chance at the net, and Markstrom stops play again. Another face-off here in the Devils zone. Connor McDavid against Glendenning. Controlled by the Oilers. On the point, Regula turns it over. And the Devils turn back the other way as Nosen tried to feed it around the boards. Taken away by Nugent Hopkins. Battle for it in center. Battle for it right in front of the penalty boxes. Floats back into the Devil end. And New Jersey takes control. Gritsyuk. Behind the net, wraparound all the way back up to the point. Fires a long shot, goes well wide. And controlled by Mercer down low. Mercer tried to circle the net, cut off by Connor McDavid, who gains control for Edmonton, stretches it up to Hyman. Hyman taken off his stick by Hamilton. Devils control in their own end. Mercer will start the breakout. Stretch pass intercepted by Darnell Nurse. Regula back the other way for Edmonton. Into the zone. Back behind the net, centering pass, deflected out in front, the rebound, controlled by Edmonton on the goal line. Enrique has it blocked, Markstrom, another try is denied. And it goes back behind the net. Kapanen now in front, stopped by Markstrom, who stops playing. Halfway through this opening period, and Markstrom holds his ground. Another face-off here in the Devils zone. Controlled by Edmonton. Ekholm in the slot, fires and scores! Ekholm fires it from the slot, and we're tied at 1 in Edmonton. Off the face-off win, he had an open look right at the top of the circles, and he fires it right past the blocker's side of Markstrom, and evens us at 1 apiece. Just right around the crowd of bodies, the shield. Markstrom, I don't think saw it until it was too late. And we're tied at 1 here in Edmonton. Face-off in center, controlled by the Oilers. 1-1 our score halfway through the period. Centering pass with nobody home. Ekholm tries to keep it alive along the half wall, and Bratt takes it away for the Devils. Here's Nico Hischer. Head of steam, got a man in front. Tried to fit it in, nobody home. Now a centering pass, what a stop, it's up in the air. Back behind the net, Hischer sends it back up to the point. Now into the slot, Bratt fires one, tipped around, controlled by Edmonton, and they get it out of the zone. Here's Roslovich, who sends it around. Penalty called. This one's going to be on New Jersey, as this one is touched by the Devils, and Edmonton will get a power play. It was on Luke Hughes for a trip as he tried to poke it away from Roslovich and took him out. So we get a penalty here, first of the game on the Devils in the first power play here for Edmonton. Devils' first goal came on a power play. Now Edmonton looking to strike on their man advantage. Face off in the Devils zone, 2-minute minor for tripping. Connor McDavid fires, glove down by Markstrom. Long shot by McDavid, good job by Markstrom. And 6 seconds into the power play, we get a stoppage. Another face-off in the double end. Controlled by New Jersey this time. And they get it out of the zone. Flip it all the way down. McDavid wins the race for the puck. Stretch pass to Hyman. And now on the near side, Leon Draisaitl downstairs. Nugent Hopkins denied. And the Devils take over, and Glass will take it out of the zone. Tried to feed it in deep. Draisaitl takes it away, but then turns it over. Pesh back in. Looking for a center, wraps it around the boards. Devils up ahead, short-handed. Battle for it in the corner. U-Body's there. Glass escapes the pack with it, but then Edmonton takes it away. Here's Connor McDavid with 1 minute to go on the power play. McDavid loses it to Dillon. Hyman tried to keep it alive as it floats towards the net. Devils gain control and flip it out of the zone. Race for the puck, controlled by Nosen. Devils up ahead, short-handed. Centering pass, and a blocker saved by Ingram. Connor McDavid gets the rebound, sets it up to Evan Bouchard. Now Roslovich cut off at the red line, kept alive by Bouchard. Savoy brings it in, taken off his stick by Hamilton. 23 seconds to go on the man advantage. Devils try to get it out, and it goes back behind the net. Glendening now flips it forward and out with 13 seconds to go on the man advantage. Connor McDavid gets to it. Final seconds wind down on this penalty. One final push for the Oilers. Savoy looking for a center, takes it to the slot, and it is in! He scores! It got tipped around a couple times, and as the penalty expires, Savoy puts Edmonton back in front. .85 miles an hour, didn't get all of it. And that one deflected off of Dillon, I believe, who got in the way. And then it just snuck right through. Let's take a look again. It did hit off of Dillon, and it just snuck his way through. Unlucky break for the Devils. 2 straight goals for Edmonton, who take a 2-1 lead in this opening period. Face-off in center, controlled by the Oilers. Podkolzin dangles, centers. Back up to the point. Nurse lets it fly, blocked out in front. And the Devils, with Hughes, bring it back the other way. Hughes looking for a friend to come. Centers it, intercepted by Leon Draisaitl. In the slot, they get it out. Darnell Nurse up ahead, waiting for help to come. Nurse trying to flip it forward, and Hughes takes it away. Nico Hischier. Hughes downstairs, kicked away by Ingram. Leon Draisaitl now with it for Edmonton. Draisaitl looking for the center. Inside Howard, blockered away. Stays in play high off the boards. Howard, wraparound try. The backhander denied by Markstrom. And the Devils will get it out. Here's Hischier. Hischier has it flipped around by Draisaitl. Edmonton takes over. 5.5 to go opening period. Off to a good start. Leon Draisaitl taken off his stick by Dillon. On the near side, Connor Brown, the only goal scorer tonight for New Jersey. Regula, good defense for Edmonton. Here's Podkolzin. Podkolzin, centering pass, intercepted by Brown. Loose puck in the slot, controlled by New Jersey. Lemico fires, blocker down by Ingram. Into the corner it comes. Regula gets there for Edmonton. Here's Emberson on the other side, intercepted by Lemico. Lemico turns back in. Connor Brown, a shot, glove down by Ingram. 4:35 to go opening period. A lot of action on both ends of the ice. Face-off controlled by New Jersey. Brown flips it, and Ingram covers. 4:29 to go opening period. Another stoppage. Face-off control by Edmonton in their own end. Under 4.5 to go, opening period. 3 goals combined, 2 for Edmonton, 1 for New Jersey. New Jersey scored the first goal of the game on an early power play. Edmonton has scored the latest 2. Downstairs, Palat couldn't get it off. And now back to the point, and Hughes, who has it blocked out in front. Mangiapane, the defense for Edmonton. Lazar, cross-ice pass, Savoy. Savoy, centering pass, intercepted by Hughes. And the Devils get it out. Brown turns it over in center, takes it right back. Brown drops it off. Pesh into the slot, fires off a body in front. Glass gets there for the Devils. Pesh now in the corner. Drops it back up to the point. One-timer, score! Downstairs up near the blue line, and the Devils have tied it. It's Cody Glass who puts it in. Pesh with the feed all the way up to the point, and the one-timer. A bullet past Ingram, and this game is tied. Might have got tipped out in front. It did. What a redirect. Out in front by Glass. And it's 2-2 here in the opening period. Hot start to this game. Face-off controlled by the Devils. Tie it at 2 apiece. Right back in the Devils. And a shot blockered away by Ingram. Into the corner, Darnell Nurse with it for Edmonton. Turns it over in center. Here's Mercer. Mercer centers it back, and McDavid cuts it off. Under 3 minutes to go, opening period, tied at 2 here in Edmonton. Connor McDavid crunched at the red line. Hamilton back in for the Devils. Centering pass, intercepted by Nurse. Now Singleter downstairs, taken away by Hyman. Regula tries to get it out. He will. Connor McDavid. To this side, and Nugent Hopkins who brings it in. Deflected into the corner. Nugent Hopkins taken off his stick by Hamilton. Goes to the far half wall. Mercer now with it for New Jersey. Stretch pass to Bratt. Tried to stay on sides. Turns it over. And now it floats back into the Jersey end. Meir cut off by Lazar. Back behind the net. Roslovich looking for the center. Roslovich back up to the point. Bouchard. Bouchard loses it for a moment. Edmonton keeps it in. Lazar shot. Glove down by Markstrom. Good look there by the Oilers. Just over 2 minutes to go. Or excuse me, just over a minute to play. Face-off controlled by the Jersey. Turnover, Roslovich inside. Couldn't get it cleanly in there with a good defensive play by Glendening. Under a minute to go in the period. Edmonton gains control, then they turn it over. Devils out of the zone, Glendening. Glendening, centering pass intercepted by Howard. And the Oilers take it back the other way. 30 seconds to go in the period. Enrique back behind the net. Centering pass. Bouchard whipped on the one-timer. Good defense there by Lemico. Now Gritsyuk brings it up. Ekholm turns back for the Oilers. Mangiapane into the slot. Fires. Glove down by Markstrom with 5 to go. Action-packed first period about to come to a close. One final face-off here in the Devil end. Controlled by the Oilers. Emberson fires off a body. Draisaitl nearly got it. Flips it and scores! With 1 second to go in the period. Leon Draisaitl makes it 3-2. Edmonton. What a battle downstairs by Leon Draisaitl. And he sneaks it past to give Edmonton the lead at the end of the period. .6 on the clock. And an action-packed first period, 3-2 our score. As we have hit the end of the first period here in Edmonton. 5 goals combined, 3-2. Edmonton with the lead. The latest from Leon Draisaitl as the period expires. Start of the second period here in Edmonton. Off to a hot start. Two high-scoring teams doing battle here. Connor McDavid will face off against Heischer, and the Oilers win the face-off to begin the second period. 3-2 Edmonton. Offensive start to this game. Devils looking to respond. Centering to Hughes, and the one-timer denied by Ingram. Hughes gets it back. Couldn't get a clean one off the second time. And here comes Evan Bouchard. Hamilton now turns back for the Devils. Turns it over to Ekholm. Ekholm up ahead. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins taken off his stick by Hamilton. Heischer at the red line. Gains control for the Devils. Turns it over. Good defense there by Edmonton. And now a flip towards the net. Ingram keeps it alive for McDavid. McDavid got hit back behind the play. Hyman up ahead for Edmonton. Hyman gets around one man into the slot. Tipped around. Goes to the far side. Battle for it along the boards. Back behind the net. Hamilton gains control. Markstrom finds it. And covers with 18:34 to go in the second. Face off in the Devil end. Second period just underway here in Edmonton. Draisaitl wins the face off. On the point, Regula has it float out of the zone, and that's an offside. Face off here in center, controlled by Edmonton. Darnell Nurse turns it over to Mercer. Head of steam out in front, sends it around the boards. Darnell Nurse first guy to it. Nurse back behind his own net, trying to keep it alive. Podkolzin keeps it away from the Devils for the moment. Now they gain control. Mercer downstairs, denied by Ingram. 2 minutes in, and we're picking up right where we left off in the opening period. A lot of chances for both of these teams. Face off in the Edmonton end. Controlled by the Devils. Hughes drops it off for Pesh. Tipped around back behind the net. Good defense there by Meir to keep it alive, but then he turns it over to Podkolzin. Battle for it along the near half wall. Devils get out of it, back up to the point. And a turnover. Podkolzin has it flip out of the zone. Pesh back to Hughes, maintains control for the Devils. Now Kampanen takes it away for Edmonton. Podkolzin back the other way, looking for a center. Leon Draisaitl off the glove of Markstrom. And it floats all the way back down the ice. This will be icing. And it stops play with 17:03 to go in the second. 3-2 Edmonton. Markstrom 25-16. Devils have won 3 of their last 4 coming into tonight. Howard floats it towards center, intercepted by Meir, who takes it away. And the Devils backtrack into their own end. Here's Hughes. Hughes to Mercer. Backing things up for the Devils again. Meir brings it back in to the other side. Can't handle it. Back up to the point. Hughes off a body in front. And Howard gains control for Edmonton. He's being pestered from behind. Good defense there by the Devils. Floats back into the Edmonton end, into the Devils end. Pesh wins the race for the puck. Devils looking to start off a breakaway. Meyer, big hit at the red line, keeps it alive. Meyer brings it in. Meyer has it taken off his stick by Draisaitl. Devils keep it in. Pesh off the skate out in front. Mercer now. Back up top, intercepted by Roslovich. Here comes Edmonton back the other way. Sends it around the boards. Here's Howard. Howard back behind the net. Howard waiting for friends to come. Inside and taken away. That's a trip. Penalty called and a power play upcoming here for Jersey. Second penalty of the night on Edmonton, and it's Lazar who stuck his stick right out, and that was an easy call. So Lazar goes to the penalty box, and a power play here for the Devils. Second of the night. They're 1 for 1. So another power play here for the Devils, looking to tie this game. Face off controlled by Edmonton, and then taken away. Nope, they didn't take it away. Overskated it, and Bouchard clears the zone. Brott feeds it up here to Heischer. Nosen will bring it in, start the breakout for the Devils. He's cut off by Bouchard, who flips it out of the zone again. Good defense. Just under 90 seconds to go in the man advantage. 3-2 Edmonton. Prime opportunity for the Devils. That's an offsides. Minute 20 to go on the power play. Face-off in center, controlled by Jersey. And Nosen will bring it in for the Devils. Nosen. Centering pass disrupted by Ingram. Bouchard gets it into the trapezoid as they battle. Nosen back behind the net, up to the point, and Hughes lets it fly. Glove down by Ingram. 57 seconds to go on the power play. Connor Ingram against Jacob Markstrom. Ingram 9-8 on the season. He's got the lead right now. 57 seconds to go on the man advantage. Face-off controlled by Edmonton, and they'll get it out. Kapanen will bring it up short-handed for the Oilers. Now flip it deep. Hughes will start the breakout for the Devils. Hughes up ahead to Mercer. Mercer centers. Hughes can't handle it. Good cutoff there by McDavid, and it comes out of the zone. Offsides again. 33 seconds to go on the power play. Face-off in center, 33 seconds to go on the man advantage. Devils gain control. Heischer brings it into the zone. Centering pass, drops it off for Nosen. Fires, glove down by Ingram. Good penalty kill to this point for Edmonton. 19 seconds left on the man advantage. Face-off control by the Devils. Hughes flips it, and Ingram grabs it again and stops play. 14 seconds to go on the backhanded try by Hughes. Face-off again in the Edmonton end, controlled by Edmonton. And they'll get it out with 7 seconds to go on the man advantage. Devils take it over. One final attack here as the penalty is over. Back to full strength Edmonton, and they kill the penalty. Stastny will bring it up for the Oilers. Back to full strength. Feeds it in deep. Hughes gets there first for the Devils. 3-2 Edmonton. Just under halfway through the second period. Good cutoff there by McDavid. Couldn't get it into Draisaitl though as Gritsuk takes it away. Here's Mercer. Mercer to the other side, and Hughes drops it off for Brown, up the blocker of Ingram. Goes into the corner. Mercer floats it back, intercepted by Hyman. Here come the Oilers. Mangiapane cut off beautifully by Siegenthaler. And now Hyman gets it back behind the net to McDavid. Back up to the point, into the slot, and taken away by the Devils. Here comes Glass back the other way for New Jersey. Glass back behind the net, Brown. Brown wanted a wraparound. Good defense by McDavid. Floats it inside, and it's taken away by Edmonton. Here's Hyman. Lazar up top. Lazar centers it, floated it, and it's intercepted by the Devils. Heischer. Glass into the slot, floats towards the net, and Ingram holds his ground. It's still loose in the slot. A little bit of hack and whack, and Edmonton gets it out. Hyman looking for a center. Good defense by the Devils. Devils get it out of the zone. Heischer cut off by Ekholm. Approaching the halfway point of this second period. 3-2 Edmonton. No scoring so far here in the second. Deflected in center. Edmonton trying to bring it into the zone. Now Ekholm finally does for a brief moment. And now Lazar just flips it ahead. Dillon gets there first for New Jersey. Errant pass, controlled by Ekholm on the side halfway through the period. McDavid tried to skate his way to the inside, poked away by the Devils, and they take over. Heischer, another errant pass, controlled by Evan Bouchard. Podkolzin now backtracks in their own end. Nugent Hopkins on the far side. He took a big hit. Hyman brings it up. It's tripped. And another penalty. This one on Jersey. And Edmonton's going to go to the power play. Just took the skate right out from Hyman. And Seigenthaler goes to the penalty box. Oilers 0 for 1 on the penalty on the man advantage tonight. Chance to change that and extend their lead. Faceoff controlled by really nobody, and now the Devils finally come out with it, and they'll exit the zone. Brown will bring it up shorthanded. Turns it over to Ekholm. Hyman now up ahead for the Oilers. He gets cut off, gets it into Nugent Hopkins, who flips it to Markstrom, who stops play. Minute 37 to go on the power play. Shots on goal pretty much even, 24 for Jersey and 23 for Edmonton. Face off in the Devil end, controlled by Edmonton. Ekholm off the blocker of Markstrom. Hyman now back behind, all the way around to Ekholm. Ekholm back up top, Nugent Hopkins downstairs, Draisaitl back in it, try denied by Markstrom. And Brown clears the zone. And Glendening gains control for the Devils and sends it around the boards. Just over a minute to go on the man advantage here for Edmonton. Leon Draisaitl dangles, Draisaitl drops it off, he whiffed, Hyman score! A little bit of a bobble on the inside makes way to Zach Hyman, and the Oilers lead by 2. Little bit of a bobble right there, and then Hyman escapes the pack with it and finds an open hole to put the puck through. And it's a 2-goal lead for Edmonton on the power play. There's a little bit of a bobble right there by White. Couldn't get control out in front of the net. And it's 4-2 Edmonton with 8:29 to go. Stretch pass to Bratt. Hughes whips on the shot attempt. And Edmonton gains control right away. Potential numbers. Kampanen brings it in. Knocked down by Markstrom. The rebound. Markstrom another stop. And he stops play. Nearly back-to-back goals there for Edmonton, but Markstrom holds his ground. Face-off in the Devil end, controlled by New Jersey. 8 minutes to go in the second, 4-2 Edmonton. Around the boards it comes. All the way around to Enrique, who exits the zone for the Oilers. Glendening, good defense. Howard keeps it alive and then takes a hit. Roslovic fires, knocked away by Markstrom. Roslovic gets his own rebound. Into the corner, Lemico takes it away for the Devils. Here's Hughes. Hughes sends it deep. Approaching the 7-minute mark to go in the second period. 2-goal lead for Edmonton, a turnover. Howard back the other way, 2-on-2 potentially, feeds it in deep. Devils do a good job to win the race to the puck. Hughes feeds it up to the other Hughes. Hughes dangles, fires, saved by Ingram. It goes into the corner. Emberson gets it for Edmonton, turns it over. Mercer gave it right back up. Enrique feeds it in deep. Flip and follow. But the Devils get there first. Mercer exits the zone here for New Jersey. 6 minutes to go. Mercer feeds it around the boards. Nurse is there for Edmonton. Battle in the trapezoid. Nurse escapes the pack, and the Devils can't keep it in. Regula feeds it up to Roslovic. Roslovic pestered from behind. Floats into the inside. Kampanen and Roslovic denied by Markstrom. Seigenthaler brings it up. Here's Mercer up ahead. Taken off his stick by Regula. Regula nearly turned it over. Edmonton keeps possession and gets it out of the zone. Darnell Nurse up ahead. Working with Nugent Hopkins, and it's intercepted on the inside. Under 5 minutes to go in the second period. 4-2 Edmonton. The only goal in this period belongs to the Oilers. Edmonton gets it back out of the zone. Kapanen brings it in. Dangles, couldn't get a clean one through. Back behind the net now. Battle for it along the boards. Devils maintain control. Just over 4 minutes to go. Glass, Mercer. Brings it in, turns it over. More good defense for Edmonton. They have turned it on in this second period. What up, Sky? Hamilton takes it back for the Devils around the net. Mercer feeds it up ahead to Glass, brings it in. Glass feeds it in deep. Flip and follow, controlled by Nurse. Dillon offsides. 3:35 to go in the second. Edmonton, the lone goal in the period, have a 2-goal lead. I'm good, Sky. How are you? Face-off in center, controlled by Edmonton. Savoy takes a big hit at the blue line. And now a turnover, and it floats back into the Edmonton end. I'm sorry to hear that, Sky. Just hang out in here and forget about it. Hang out in here and just let your mind go numb. We're watching hockey, even if it's fake. We've been doing a lot of football lately since it's football season. We're getting back into hockey. 3:01 to go. Face-off control by Edmonton. That one is blockered out in front. Mangiapane, Savoy flips it, and Markstrom saves. That was dangerous. But Markstrom finds it. 2:49 to go in the period. Face-off control by Edmonton. Bouchard couldn't get a clean one off, and Dillon gets it out of the slot. Now battle for it on the far half wall. Controlled by Edmonton. Bouchard sends it towards the net. Kicked away by Markstrom. And the Devils get it out of the zone. White up top, looking for the center. Fires a shot, saved by Ingram. Floats all the way around, and now here comes a potential drill break. And they can't get a clean pass, and the Devils take it back over. Ekholm takes it away for Edmonton, and now potential numbers again. Connor McDavid brings it up, loses it. And the Devils gain control. Here's Mercer. Mercer inside, into the slot, a shot, gloved down by Ingram. And that stops play with 1:33 to go in the period. Thanks, Sky. Minute 33 to go in the period. Face-off control by Edmonton in their own end. Podkolzin sends it deep. Hughes, first guy to it, battling the trapezoid. Leon Draisaitl there for Edmonton. Podkolzin inside, saved by Markstrom. What a stop. Right out in front, and now Hughes on the other side. Hughes loses it behind the net. Brott now gets it. Loose puck on the inside. Controlled. Stopped by Ingram, and the Oilers survive the attack. Ingram covers. My favorite team is the Seattle Kraken. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so I finally got a hockey team. Face-off controlled by Edmonton. 40 seconds to go in the period. Leon Draisaitl feeds it up ahead. Draisaitl down low, centers it to Capen, and a shot off the chest of Markstrom. 23 seconds to go, and he sends it around the boards. Emberson back behind his own net with 12 seconds to go in the period. One final push for Edmonton if they hurry. Mangiapane around the boards. And Edmonton gains control. Draisaitl floats it out, turns it over, and that'll do it for the period. The second period has gone by. Just one goal that time in the period, and it belongs to Edmonton. They have a 4-2 lead going into the third. Toronto Maple Leafs are pretty cool. There's not really a hockey team I dislike other than the Vegas Golden Knights. I can't stand the Golden Knights. Yeah, not a huge fan of the Penguins either, but I don't hate them. The Vegas Golden Knights are really the one team that I really hate. Start of the third and final period here from Edmonton. The Oilers have a 2-goal lead. Jersey kind of fell off in that second period after an explosive first. Looking to gain some momentum in Edmonton, looking to close this game out. Ekholm brings it right in, fires, whiffed on the shot attempt. Didn't get all of it. McDavid now on the inside, poked away, right wing circle, battle. McDavid keeps it alive, long one-timer denied by Markstrom. Ekholm let it fly. And a good save by Markstrom. I like Washington. Washington's pretty cool. If I had to say I had a second favorite team, which I really don't, another one-timer, Draisaitl that time let it fly, denied by Markstrom. Goes into the corner, Nugent Hopkins, back to Hyman. Back up top, another one-timer, and now Hyman on the inside, whiffed in the slot. McDavid flips it towards Markstrom, he denies that one. Oilers on the attack in a big way here to start this third. Battle for it in the corner, turnover in the inside, Hyman lost it before he could get a shot off. Now to the far half wall. Hyman keeps it alive for Edmonton, and then he turns it over to Hischier. Hischier back the other way for the Devils. Long shot, gloved down by Ingram, and no further play. If I had to say I had a second favorite team, which I really don't, I would have to say it is probably, I don't know, maybe the Kings. I kind of like watching the Kings. I also like watching the Devils, but the Kraken are my team. Face-off in the Edmonton end, controlled by the Oilers. Now a turnover, and then they turn it right back over. Here's Connor McDavid trying to split defenders. He does! McDavid denied by Markstrom. Oh, he tried to go coast to coast, and Connor McDavid couldn't finish. Bouchard, Kapanen get it out of the zone. Rajapani drops it off for Ekholm. Ekholm looking for his center, works it down low. Ekholm takes it in, and it's denied by Markstrom again. The Oilers have been on the attack almost this entire third period, and Connor McDavid has had the latest threat right there, and a great save by Markstrom. There's been a lot of fights recently in the NHL. Face-off controlled by the Devils. And Hughes will exit the zone. Devils need to make up 2 goals here in the third period. Into the slot. Floats it towards Ingram, who covers. 17 and a half to go in regulation. Face-off controlled by Edmonton in their own end. Darnell Nurse hit along the boards, controlled by the Devils on the inside, taken away from behind by Kapanen. He takes a big hit. Regula to Podkolzin into the slot. Podkolzin fires, blockered away by Markstrom. Devils gain control and get it out of the zone. This might be icing, and it is. Icing on the Devils, 16:55 to go in the third. And we're going to get a face-off here in the Jersey end. Face-off controlled by Edmonton. Regula broke his stick on the shot. Downstairs, Howard denied by Markstrom. And a new piece of equipment needed for Regula, who let it fly. There's Roslovic, 22 goals, 18 assists. Enrique against Glass on the face-off in the double end. Controlled by Edmonton. Emberson on the point. Whipped on the shot attempt. Floats to Roslovic. Back up top. And a turnover. Here comes Palat. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Good defense there by Emberson. Enrique right back in. Roslovic Inside, intercepted by Dillon. And the Devils get it out of the zone again. Here's Brown, who scored the first goal of this game. Brown taking off his stick beautifully, and here comes Edmonton. Howard sends it around, out of play, and we're going to get a stoppage. .16:09 to go in the third. Faceoff controlled by Edmonton. Roslovich brings it in for the Oilers. Centers it to nobody. And a turnover. Here comes Numbers. And an errant pass keeps them from getting free. Now Enrique brings it in. Floats it towards Markstrom, who stops play. 15:46 to go in the third. The Devils have had a couple chances at breakaways, but errant passes have prevented them from doing so. Crowd into it here at Rogers Place. Face-off controlled by Jersey. Glendening brings it up ahead, waits for help to come. Hughes lost it, and Mangiapane takes it away. Emberson now for the Oilers. Emberson fires, glove down easily by Markstrom, no further play. 15:19 to go in regulation. Another face-off here in the Devils' end, controlled by Edmonton on the point. Bouchard tipped around, rebound, score! Mangiapane on the rebound, and Edmonton extends their lead. Another face-off win by Edmonton. Bouchard let it fly, rebound right at Mangiapane. Easy pickings, and it's a 3-goal lead for the Oilers here at home. Evan Bouchard, 54th assist on the season. 3-goal lead for Edmonton, 15 minutes to play. Face-off controlled by the Devils. Hughes cut off immediately. Oilers right back in. Mangiapane taken off his stick by Hughes. Ritsiuk turns it over. Loose puck controlled by the Devils. And Mercer turns back for the Devils. Mercer fires, sticked aside by Ingram. Meir keeps it alive for a moment for the Devils on the right wing circle. Bouchard takes it away. And now another turnover. Meir fires, saved by Ingram. Comes to the near side and Ekholm gains control. Oilers attempt to get it out of the zone, and they will with Mangiapane. And then he turns it over at the red line. Mercer back in. Oilers change as Draisaitl now has it. Meir cut off at the blue line. Draisaitl back the other way for Edmonton. Bratt now takes it away for the Devils. And here comes Glendening. Glendening taken off his stick by Mangiapane. A lot of turnovers here. Glendening downstairs. Back up to the point. Pesh. Bratt on the wing. Circles back. Taken off his stick by Mangiapane, who turns back for Edmonton. Leon Draisaitl, Podkolzin. Into the slot. Keeps it alive for a moment, and then Pesh takes it away. And they send it all the way back down. Icing is the call with 13:09 to go. Devils haven't scored since the opening period of this game. It's been all Edmonton since the end of the first period where they scored the goal to take the lead with 1 second to go. Downstairs, Hyman behind the net, McDavid out in front. Errant pass controlled by the Devils. And now they turn it over back to Edmonton. Connor McDavid sends it towards the net. Oh, that one almost snuck through. Save, rebound, denied by Markstrom. And here comes the Devils back the other way. Bratt centers himself, fires a shot, and it's bodied down by Ingram, who stops play again. He has played excellent in this game after that first period where he gave up 2 goals. Face-off controlled by New Jersey. Long shot blockered away by Ingram. Controlled by Edmonton, and they will attempt to get it out. Heischer battling for it. Floats back. Edmonton turns it over. Heischer a shot. Glove down. The rebound controlled by Edmonton. Bratt keeps it alive. Hamilton off a body in front. Nugent Hopkins wins the race for the puck. Edmonton out of the zone. Here's Hyman up ahead. Looking for the center. He's got McDavid. And he couldn't get it to him. Good cut off there by the Devils. Here comes Bratt back the other way for New Jersey. Errant pass controlled by Hughes. To the near side, Hamilton inside, intercepted by Regula, who flips it up and out. Race for the puck, icing call. 11:15 to go in the third. Minutes to go in the third. Edmonton leads by 3. They played excellent in the second half of this game. Connor McDavid fires wide of the net, and Brown gets it here for the Devils. Palat brings it up here for Jersey. Centering pass, one-timer, want to stop the rebound. Can't handle it. Loose puck on the right wing into the corner. Leon Draisaitl gains control for Edmonton. McDavid. Now Palat brings it back out for Jersey halfway through the third. Palat dangles. Palat fires. Saved Ingram. Poked away, and Edmonton gains control. Regula up top. Connor McDavid. Hamilton now gains control for the Devils. Under 10 minutes to go in the third. Mercer looking for a center. Cut off there by Regula. Connor McDavid to the far side, and Draisaitl. Back to McDavid. Errant pass controlled by the Devils. Dillon. Draisaitl takes it away and neutralized. Under 9 minutes to go in the period. Draisaitl loses in another turnover. Back and forth we go in this third. Another disrupted pass in center. Devils bring it into the zone. Dillon fires, and it's gloved down by Ingram, who's played an excellent game here tonight. Faceoff controlled by Edmonton. 8.5 to go in regulation. Oilers in control. Roslovich. Henrique now gloved down by Markstrom. Beautiful save. 8:09 to go in the third. 46 shots on goal for Edmonton tonight. And Markstrom has had his work cut out for him. Bouchard couldn't handle it. Devils take over with 8 minutes to go. Cross-ice pass controlled by Mercer. And Ekholm now takes it away. Here comes Edmonton. Ekholm fires, blockered away by Markstrom. Dillon gains control for the Devils. Here's Mercer. Mercer cut off in front of the benches. Floats back into the Devil end. 7.5 to go in regulation time. 3-goal lead for the Oilers. Stretch pass. Meir looking for a center as he takes out Draisaitl, and Edmonton gains control. Howard brings it in. Howard centering. Roslovich fires. Score! Roslovich puts it in, and it's a 4-goal lead for Edmonton over New Jersey. Nothing fancy about this one, just 3-on-3. The late defender, the third defender for the Devils, was late getting back. Roslovich had an open look, and that might have deflected off of the Devils' stick. Take another look. It was close, but he fits it in past Markstrom. Another goal for Edmonton, and that might have just sealed it, and they're going to switch goaltenders. So Allen will come in for the Devils after Edmonton has exploded in this game, taking the lead at the end of the first period and not looking back. 7 minutes to go. Roslovich the goal, and it's a 6-goal night for the Oilers. Lamico brings it in, intercepted in center by Ekholm. A lot of turnovers tonight for New Jersey. Floats back into the Edmonton end. Devils gain control. Glendening out in front, poked away by Ingram. Now here comes Evan Bouchard. Bouchard looking for the center. Flips it into the corner, controlled by Hamilton. 6 minutes to go in regulation. Glendening taken away from behind by Kapanen. Draisaitl to Ekholm up top. Devils change. Ekholm inside, intercepted by Glendening. Glendening feeds it in deep. Under 6 minutes to play here in the third. Oilers wasting time behind the net. And now bring it back up and out. Savoy. Savoy turns it over. Seigenthaler around the boards to Glass on the near side. Hamilton up top to Brown, who scored the first goal of this game. Connor Brown did. Way back in the opening period, just a couple minutes in. Edmonton gains control. A penalty is called on New Jersey. Savoy loses it, and we're going to get another power play here with 4:46 to go in the third and a 4-goal Edmonton lead. And it's on Palat. So things going from bad to worse for the Devils. Penalty here on Jersey. And this power play will take up almost half the time remaining in this game. Face-off controlled by the Devils. They're going to bring it up short-handed and feed it in deep. Oilers will start the breakout with Connor McDavid up top. Inside Roslovich. Taking off his stick before he can get going. Devils back again short-handed. Heischer flips it towards Ingram, who sticks it aside. Heischer gets it back into the corner. Penalty called on Edmonton this time. Saved by Ingram on the inside, and we're going to get a 4-on-4. Connor McDavid, his second penalty of the game. And he's going to get called for interference. So interference is called on McDavid. His night is pretty much to a close. Minute 22, I believe. Let's see what the clock, see what they put it at. Minute 22 to go on the 4-on-4 with 4 minutes to go in the game. Face-off controlled by the Devils. Up top, Pesh, disrupted. Peps it in. Hughes, back to Pesh, in the slot, knocked down, the rebound goes just wide. Goes into the corner, and Edmonton gets it out. Savoy feeds it in, out of play. With 58 seconds to go on the 4-on-4, and then a brief Jersey power play to follow. Face-off controlled by Jersey. Hughes brings it in. Fires, saved by Ingram. Heischer now downstairs, found by Ingram, who covers. 3.5 to go. So barring a dramatic comeback here from Jersey, their winning streak, they've won 3 of 4 coming in. Their winning streak will go to a close. And Edmonton will get into the win column and take 2 points here in the standings. Hughes circles back in. Tried to get ahead of steam. Good cutoff there by Emberson. Kapanen brings it up for the Oilers. Kapanen inside, couldn't finish. Good cutoff there by Pesh. And now here comes the Devils. 3 seconds to go on the 4-on-4, and now a brief power play here for Jersey. Hughes sends it around, back up top. Hughes intercepted on the inside, kept in by Bratt. Bratt to Hughes, back up top. Hughes fires, score! Hughes fires it in the slot, and the Devils score their first goal since the opening period and cut the lead to 3 in the final minutes. Found the open gap right in between Kapanen and Emberson. And right past Ingram for the third goal of the game for the New Jersey Devils. But they still trail big here in Edmonton. So Jack Hughes gets assisted by Luke Hughes here in Edmonton. 6-3 our score. Podkolzin out to Kapanen behind the net. Podkolzin on the wing, into the slot, Regula. Now Draisaitl flips it. It's tipped around, the rebound. He's on the ground. Loose puck in the slot, and the Devils somehow get out of that with 2 minutes to go. Bratt centers. Hughes fires just wide. Bratt gets the rebound. Now out in front, Hischier. Loose puck in the slot, floats into the corner and back towards the net. And Ingram finds it and covers with 1:34 to go. See if the Devils want to empty their net here. They're still down by 3. As Ingram with another save off the glove side. And then another good save as well. He has played pretty well tonight. Given up 3 goals, but his team has backed him up. There was the goal that went in for Hughes. 1:34 to go in regulation. Face-off control by the Devils. White fires, glove down, and out of the zone. Beautiful defense there by Edmonton. Just over a minute to go. Bratt will bring it back in for the Devils. Fires off a body, and it floats into the corner. Regula is there here for Edmonton. Here's Connor McDavid to Zach Hyman. Hyman dangles. Hyman tried to feed it into McDavid. Back up top, one-timer knocked down by Markstrom. And it comes out for the Devils under a minute to go. Feeds it in. Back behind the net, Nosen. Nugent Hopkins is there. Darnell Nurse is there for Edmonton. Nosen keeps it alive. Into the corner. Nosen floats it towards Ingram. Loose puck on the inside. Squirts free. Connor McDavid gets it. 30 seconds to go in regulation. And it looks like the Oilers are going to hang on to win this one. Gritziuk brings it in, drops it off, intercepted by Nugent Hopkins. One final change. Here's Lazar. Podkolzin with the intercept, fires a shot, saved by Allen with 11 seconds to go. And Edmonton 11 seconds away from getting the win here at home. Face-off control by the Devils. Final seconds wind down in this game. One final attack here for the Devils. Brown gloved down by Ingram, who stops play with 3 seconds left. So the Oilers are going to get their 26th win of the season, move their record to 26-17-8. Devils will lose their 23rd to drop a little bit closer to 500, 25-23-2 as the final seconds tick down, and the Oilers win this one here tonight. After the first period, it was all Edmonton in this game. A 6-goal performance from the Oilers. And they win their 26th game of the season. 26-17-8 go the Oilers. 25-23-2 go the Devils. Good game, good team win by Edmonton. Ingram had a few enormous saves in this game. Gave up a few goals, but his team backed it up. 6-3, the final score from Edmonton. The Oilers get the win over the Devils.